Okay, so as you've heard, the policy that the affirmative side is advocating, they said for their significance claim that human embryonic stem cells are human beings, but they're not human beings. Michael J. Sandel from Embryo Ethics from the New England Journal of Medicine said, the fact that every person began life as an embryo does not prove that embryos are persons. Consider an analogy. Although every oak tree was once an acorn, it does not follow that acorns are oak trees, or that I should treat the loss of an acorn eaten by a squirrel as the same kind of loss as the death of an oak tree felled by a storm. Despite their developmental continuity, acorns and oak trees are different kinds of things. So are human embryos and human beings. So you can't call an embryo a human being because the embryo only becomes a human being once it goes through the developmental process. So, and Lawrence I. Bonchek, author of Federal Funding of Stem Cell Research from CTSNet, said human life begins at conception. Considering that those who hold this view generally favor capital punishment, one WAG has equipped that the religious rights concern for human life begins at conception and ends at birth. In this view, cloned cells as well as excess frozen pre-embryos from fertility clinics are considered humans, and even those that will be discarded may not be used for life-saving research. So the affirmative side claims that human embryos are human beings, and they also tend to think that if you throw away the excess embryos, it's okay to throw them away. So if they were human beings, then why are they throwing them away when they can be used to do possibly life-saving research? For the inherency claim, they said the use of embryonic stem cells are scientifically proven flawed, but they're actually very beneficial. Q&A from the stem cell debate on CNN said, till now scientists have believed the most useful stem cells have come from embryos. This is because embryonic cells are pluripotent. They have the ability to become any type of cell. They have also been comparatively easy to grow in lab conditions, proving much more useful to researchers who require a large number of cells for replacement therapies. So they're not proven flawed. Scientific researchers actually prefer the embryonic stem cells to the alternatives that the affirmative side claims to be better. For their solvency claim, they said embryonic stem cells should be abandoned in favor of alternatives such as those involving adult stem cells. But why should we abandon the embryonic stem cells when they're actually better? Janine M. Idziak from Stem Cell Research and Therapeutic Cloning from Loras College said a report from the National Institute of Health released in July 2001 proposed that human embryonic stem cells are easier to grow in a laboratory than adult stem cells. According to this report, millions of cells can be generated from one embryonic stem cell, and these cells will remain in an undifferentiated state. On the other hand, then, when adult stem cells multiply, they tend to become specialized. So if we abandon the embryonic stem cell, then we're actually going backwards in the medical field, because the embryonic stem cells are actually better than the adult stem cells because they're more versatile and they work better. And for the workability, their policy just wouldn't work because it limits the medical field. And Jonathan Moreno of 8 Seasons to Apply Action on Stem Cells said, opponents of human embryonic stem cell research often champion human adult stem cells, umbilical cord stem cells, and induced pluripotent stem cells as suitable alternatives to embryonic stem cells. Yet these approaches cannot be successful without research on human embryonic stem cells. The New York State Stem Cell Foundation reported in July 2008 that its chief scientific officer, Kevin Egan, produced adult stem cell lines from patients with Lou Gehrig's disease. Yet Egan said he will still continue his work on human embryonic stem cell research because we couldn't possibly be where we are now without first doing extensive work with human embryonic stem cells. They remain the stem cell gold standard against which all cells brought forth as alternatives must be measured. So you can see that the embryonic stem cell is, you have to do that first before you go into any other type of stem cell research, because they're the beginning of all stem cells. And for the disadvantages that their policy has.
I gotta cut you off because it's been 5 minutes.